Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. Happy Monday if you are listening to this on the drop. If you're not, happy whatever day it is, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. I hope you're feeling good, feeling funky, feeling fresh, and ready to be entertained. In the words of Robin Williams, let me entertain you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Come on, let me entertain you. Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
Before we start, I got a telly recommendation. Never done these in a little while. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't even know if it was like something you're like, no, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. It's called The Money Heist.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It is, I think, directed, produced by, what is that man's name? God forgive me, I cannot remember. When I with Madonna.
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. I'm so sorry, Guy Ritchie. Of all the work you've done, I'm like, went out with Madonna. I'm so
I know.
sorry.
Do you know what? Women get reduced down to who they date all the time.
Actually, it's very true.
It's fine.
Yeah. So Guy Ritchie directed it, produced it, whatever. And it's about, not whatever, but I can't remember what one it was. It's about the heist that was planned to steal. Okay, do you remember when the Millennium Dome first opened?
Oh, yeah. It's a TV show, isn't it?
It's
Okay.
but like a documentary.
Okay.
Yeah. When the Millennium Dome first opened, it had a diamond in it. That a diamond. I don't know if you remember. When it first opened, it was like a weird. The Millennium Dome was a weird museum when it first opened.
That was so weird. I never went there.
It was so dumb.
Looking back now, I just think, what a waste of money.
It's now the O2.
Thank God.
Fair enough, it was bought. But like when it was first made, it was a weird science museum that I don't know. I don't think I went on a school trip. And it was like fun. It was fine. Like I can't imagine adults having it. It wasn't something you went to more than once. Yeah, but anyway, it was the science museum. And in the middle of it, they had a De Beers, the diamond thingy and brand. They had a diamond in it. And it's like this stunning, beautiful diamond. It was rare. It was like cost a stupid amount of money. Like it was just insane. Like, and they had this as the main attraction. People would go there and go see this diamond, right? It was just like, wow, spectacular. So a couple of, Essex, Kent gangsters decided they're going to go steal it.
As you do.
They were like, and for them...
Do you reckon that's the real one? Because that was really dumb.
Wait for it.
Okay.
So they watch it, should I say? Not wait for it, watch it, because I'm not going to tell you. So they made this big plan to go steal this. This is like a real life story. It happened. The men did time in jail. Like it's a real thing. But they're now all out because this was 25 years ago now.
Damn.
Yeah. So some of them did 14 years in jail and blah, 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 blah.
God.
So they made this big plan to go and steal this diamond. So they were going to go scope the place. One of the guys one day took his kid to the Millennium Dome just to kind of scope it, see if it was doable. They made this great, because they're he was like, I went to the Millennium Dome. I just thought it was a bit shit. And he was like, what idiot puts a bit of that much of a diamond in the middle of Greenwich? It's like Greenwich is a shithole.
Yeah.
And especially then as well. Now Greenwich is nicer, but then Greenwich was like a shithole. So they made this plan and they were going to go there, bulldozer it, because he was like, ultimately, the Millennium Dome, the O2 is just a concrete ground and then a nylon cover over it. So it's actually very easy to go through the building.
Just pop it.
Yeah. Like remember when the wind happened and the wind took out the O2? Because it's actually not that thing. So it was like you could easily get into it.
Oh my God.
So they make out this grand plan. Unbeknownst to them, the police is following them. Not because the police thinks they're stealing it, but just because they're criminals anyway. So the police like, there's something up here. They've had their eye on them. So they just had their eye on them. And why they having their eye on them, they keep seeing them go to the O2. And they're like, yo, the O2 is not that lit. Yeah. Like Chris went to the O2 the other day. He's not going to O2 again. And he's taking notes.
No, this is hilarious.
What are you doing at the O2? So they had this campsite in Kent that they all used to camp at. So the police started, no, it's not. Police are mad because not only did they put cameras there, they started putting real life people dressed as bushes. Like that thing is not... I don't know if they still do that now, but there were people dressed as bushes in the bushes.
Oh my God.
Watching these people.
That is hilarious.
And every day, they're watching them. That's the thing, it's not meant to be funny, but it's so funny. And you've got the criminals there, chappers. They're like East London gangsters, East End. They just think everything is a bit I'll give it a go and see what happens. But it's really, really funny towards the end of it. they don't get away with it. But when we were talking earlier about the difference between theft and burglary, that's where I learnt that.
Oh.
So when they got arrested, they were like, no, they didn't burgle. Like, what are you on about? That's not true. So they pleaded not guilty to burglary, but they pleaded guilty to stealing, to theft.
And the difference is?
Burglary, you hurt people.
Okay.
Or you have violence. Theft, you just steal.
Right, okay.
And it's a lesser.
Right, okay.
They're like, we weren't trying to hurt anybody. We just wanted
to get the diamond, mate.
wanted to get the diamond. But it's so well done.
Okay.
And the plan was going to go after when I get the diamond. We're going to, obviously, O2 is right by the river. We're going to jump on a boat that was going to take them to the other end of London, jump in a van, happily ever after. And they were talking that for the person, because there was always an inside job person in it. For the person that was the inside job, that person was going to get 250 grand. Oh. And he wasn't even a part of the crime. He was just going to tell them that, at this time, security is not there. And I thought, I would do that.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
I can't lie to you.
Because you could, yeah.
Yeah, if someone come up to me and be like, Tolani, I know you think I'm an accountant, but I'm actually a burglar. I'm a big thief. I'm a big time thief. If you tell me what time security is at, I think I'd be like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you're not really doing anything.
I'm not really doing.
You're not really incriminating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it.
That sounds really good.
It's only like 4 episodes, but I just really, I don't know if it was the East End version of it that just really liked it. And also I kind of quite like a chancer.
Yeah.
I kind of like people that just obviously it's bad what they've done.
That's actually so mad to just think that you can just steal a diamond.
How dare you think I'm just going to go to the O2 and rob the diamond?
Small, says.
And they started buying things that obviously you...
But my thing is, with something like that, with such a huge thing, because obviously it would have been, if they got away with it and this diamond went missing, it would have been absolute chaos and mayhem, But where are you taking it to? Who are you selling it to?
They had a buyer.
Oh, they had a buyer. So I guess you've got to have, you've got to set that up.
Yeah, they had a buyer
and then
already.
Okay, fine,
He was set up to buy it. And the lead guy on it was just like, for him, it was kind of like, he was like, that was his last job. But I feel like every criminal, that was their last job, and that's when they got caught in it.
Yeah, I think gamblers are like that as well. I feel like every time you get a big win, you're like, because in my mind, I feel like if I was a gambler and I got a big win, I would end.
No, but you don't.
But then you don't, do you? Because you're always going to be chasing. You're always going to be chasing more. Like that guy who was invoicing Facebook for non-existent invoices, and he got 70 million out of Facebook. And the thing is, exactly, he was just sending them invoices that didn't exist, and they were paying them. And
is that true?
Yeah, and he got 70 million out of them. But if that were me,
please align me with the idiot that will pay me for nothing. Align in Jesus' name. Align me.
No, but he is the idiot, because when I got 20 mil and I got away with that, I mean, come on.
I would have started at 1 mil.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm not even greedy. Like, how greedy?
If you run an invoice and they pay it for 530k, say that was your first one you did, and they paid it, I would just be like, oh my God, I can't believe that worked.
But then also some people are like, I can't believe that worked. Let me try one more
again.
Time.
But 70 million and then you get caught. I would be fuming, because he could have just got away with that scot-free. But it's always like you were saying, it's always that final
he was like, it was my last one.
When people are like, this is not a real company. Like, who the hell are these people that we're just paying?
They arrested him and his dad, right? Because his dad gave them the steakhouse. Even though his dad wasn't a part of the crime. And then in prison, his dad started getting sick. So he said to them, I'll plead guilty if you let my dad out.
Oh.
Yeah. So he pled guilty. So he got longer time. So his dad went to go die, not in jail.
That's mad.
But his plan was, it was going to be my last one. I was going to get that money and I was just going to live.
Now look.
He was like, I was going to live my life. And it was so funny because he tried doing this sad story about I was a traveller, didn't go up. Shut up.
No one cares.
You can't do a sad story when you come to steal.
Yeah, you can't do a sub story.
Get out of here, sir. But it's a really good watch.
That sounds really good. I'm actually going to watch that.
Yeah. It's a good watch. I enjoyed it.
But
anyway, that's not what we're here for. Sorry, I told you the whole script, but hey, it's still a good watch. We're here to read your receipts and help you with your dilemmas and hopefully being the wise big sisters, friends, aunties, lovers that we are, we can help you. So the first dilemma reads, Dear Tolly and Audrey, like many loyal listeners, I followed your podcast for years and cherish your profound advice. You're the only podcast I eagerly wake up to Wednesdays and Fridays, Money Gang, to start my day with. You're both amazing people and I hope you tour down under someday.
Aww.
I can almost tell you unequivocally that the bag has to be large.
And the jet has to be private.
For me to go down under. But we're glad you're enjoying it. My dilemma, so it might be long. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 6 months with the usual relationship bumps. After a week ago, we had a serious misunderstanding where we weren't really speaking except for small check-ins. During this fight, he informed me that one of his female friends would be staying with him for roughly 6 months.
Damn, that's longer than
This
they've been
caught me
together.
off guard. I've only met this woman once coincidentally during our relationship and never spoke to her otherwise. They've known each other for years and he feels indebted because she helped him with housing years ago. What really threw me is that the woman has a boyfriend who lives alone. Oh. Okay.
Oh, this just changes everything.
Yeah. When I asked why her boyfriend couldn't house her, because where the fuck can't her boyfriend house her? My boyfriend said he didn't ask. So, why?
Well, that's not my fucking business.
I then learned they've been together for a year and a half. This doesn't add up and makes me deeply uncomfortable, especially since my boyfriend and I don't even live together. I'm most upset because he already gave her the green light before telling me. He wasn't seeking my opinion, but simply informing me about his decision. I asked him to follow up about why she couldn't move in with her boyfriend, but days later, he still hasn't spoken to her. I'm trying to not be reactive, but I'm unsure how to approach this. You said before that dating nice people means accepting they're kind to everyone, but I'm really struggling with this one.
Man.
That was what I was going to say, but you're right. You're absolutely right. But I'm really struggling with this one. I feel like growing more resentment daily. What would you advise your loyal listener? Sorry, but why is she not saying anything?
No, exactly. I'm just going to have to stay on that one because
why is she not saying anything about her boyfriend?
Yeah, exactly. And I do genuinely, because I remember we had a dilemma similar to this.
Yeah.
And the guy was like friends with the girl.
Yeah.
And everything was reassured and she was maybe just being a little bit insecure or whatever, which is understandable. But there was no boyfriend, there was no anything else. There was no, exactly. This one, because ordinarily, I think when we talk about the scenario just in general, I do think, I don't know, it's a techie one because I don't want to minimize platonic relationships because if it was a guy coming to stay, we'd have no issue.
No, but if he had a girlfriend, I'd also say, why can't he stay with his girlfriend?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think here the caveat is she has a whole boyfriend she can go and stay with. I don't know why they're adamant because it's not necessary. She's got alternatives. There's options. And look, I guess he feels indebted, but no.
If there was a point right now that had nowhere to stay, they'll probably be the last people out of the house.
Yeah.
Especially the ones in relationships.
Oh, definitely.
Like yeah. I'm asking fourth cousins before we get to the guy friends who are in relationships, because I understand this will be a problem for your girl. Like no matter how platonic we are, no matter how long we've been,
no
this will be a
no
problem for your girl. Exactly.
Yeah.
The same way that if a guy friend needs somewhere to stay, okay, yeah, cool, you can stay here, but like, why me?
But guys wouldn't have it though. Guys just wouldn't.
Like if I told a guy that I'm with, to be like, hey, my friend's gonna stay with me for 6 months because there's nowhere else to stay. Like, sorry, it is.
Yeah, and then on top of it, if you were to mention that he's got a girlfriend, I just don't even think it would run the other way around.
You are absolutely valid to be like, hey, but why can't you stay with your girlfriend? Okay, and I think the girl best friend is probably thinking, or girlfriend is thinking, oh, my boyfriend should have asked me. I don't want to be the one to bring it up to him.
That's between.
But then that's your problem.
Exactly.
And also, desperate times call for desperate measures. If I can't be housed. I'm asking my boyfriend. I don't need you to ask me, boyfriend. Yeah. Boyfriend, I'll be like, babe, I've got nowhere to stay. Yeah. Can I stay with you? In fact, I'm coming to stay with you for a couple of months.
So she's in a long distance relationship with her boyfriend and she's coming to the city.
They're not even long distance.
She's coming to a city
Where have
near
you gone? Audrey, you're making up stories.
There's no long distance.
There's no long distance. That wasn't mentioned.
Wait, so hang on. Why does she come?
Because you're trying to make it sense.
I'm trying to apply because where is she?
She's just local and she needs somewhere to stay.
There's
no long distance.
Oh no.
There's no boyfriend. It's never city. Everybody is in Aussie land.
Oh, yeah, no, so I don't know why in my mind.
Down under is Australia, isn't it? Or New Zealand, right? Yeah, everybody's in Aussie land.
Okay, yeah, no. There's no need. It doesn't make any sense. You have to really stand firm on this. Because
I'll get to the point, and I think I might ask the girl.
Just be like, why are you not staying with your man? I might even go to the man and be like, why can't she stay with you? Like, what's going on? Like, why can't you? And the thing is, absolutely, like, if she doesn't feel comfortable to ask her man, but she feels comfortable to ask your man,
she needs to get a better man.
She needs to get a better man. Or they need to have a sit down about their relationship, but that's got nothing to do with you. And here you are, your boyfriend's just checking in on you every couple of days or whatever. You've got things to work on your relationship. And now you're coming to add an extra problem.
In fact, I'm coming to move in.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to comprehend. I can't be okay with this. No.
Yeah, no. You're valid to how you're feeling.
Definitely.
And I think I will stay on him to be like, if you ask her why she can't stay with her boyfriend.
But she said that he was like, I'm not asking, I'm telling you. She's saying.
To be fair, he didn't tell her that. It was just like, here's the information.
But I just, do you know what? I don't know.
But also, it's his house. Like, ultimately, it is his house. And if he feels like this person has done something for me and now I have to now pay them back in some way, I get it.
Buy her a Happy Meal. She doesn't need to come and stay with you. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't.
What's she gonna do? Live in a box and no comes in? She still needs a house.
No, but no, I don't know how I feel. I don't know, but you know, I always have to like unpack the relationship just in general. And I don't know about this relationship in general. She's saying they've been together for 6 months and they have the usual arguments. Fair. There's no relationship that goes without arguments. I'm always very conscious about people who do not consider their partner's feelings and just kind of do what they want to do regardless. Like I have a big thing about that. I don't like that. And the fact that like he basically said, listen, by the way, I'm not asking you. I'm kind of just giving you the information.
He didn't say that bit.
What, did I
he
make
just
that up?
told her.
Oh.
She's saying
he
didn't ask her. He just
my
told
bad.
her.
I'm adding things.
Because there's a difference with just doing it and there's been telling you that, hey, I'm doing this because I don't give a shit.
Fairs. But his actions are still indicating that. Do you know what I mean? I just think, I mean, okay, to answer the dilemma, you need to press him about why she can't stay with the man. And then you need to be vocal about it and say, if it were any other circumstance, I would understand that this is your friend and you're doing a kind act and she has nowhere else to go, then cool. Because having nowhere else to go is a very different situation. That makes the dilemma a whole different dilemma. She has somewhere else to go. She should want to stay with her boyfriend and she should be able to stay there. So why is she staying with you? Like, I would absolutely push for that. I would need to get to the bottom of that.
I think I would get to the bottom of why she can't stay with her boyfriend. And if for whatever reason they've got their relationship dynamics, because I can understand why. I could understand the girl expecting her boyfriend to be like, I'll just stay here. And if he hasn't, she's thinking, well, I guess he doesn't want me to, so I'm not going to, whatever their relationship is. But I'll be very honest, ultimately that's his house.
But where are you going? Why are you moving if you've got nowhere to stay?
Where people have housing things, like, sure.
Yeah, fair.
But
you don't know the reason.
Ultimately, that's my man's house and whoever wants to stay there can stay there. Ultimately. I am not a dictator. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, because or else what?
The thing is,
she can't stay here or what?
It's tricky because, it is his place. You're not paying any bills there, so you don't really have any say. My thing is just more like, are your feelings being considered? And
no.
It doesn't, and they're not. Basically, they're not.
And you have to decide if you're okay with that or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, what does my feelings being considered mean? Because are my feelings considered because you told me? You're like, hey, by the way, just to let you know this.
Yeah, he was.
So to him, is that him thinking your feelings have been considered? Because even though we're not talking, we're beefing, I still message you to let you know that, hey, this thing is happening. Or my feelings being considered means that it's not, you don't want to let her stay because I'm going to let her stay. If your feelings being considered means I'm not going to let her stay, then sorry, your feelings are not being considered.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the dictatorship. This is this man's house. Yeah, of course you shouldn't live together. You've been with him 6 months.
In my mind, I don't know why he's so excited for her to come and stay.
Audrey, you have really added.
But in my
seasoning, you've added Maggi, you've added garlic granules, you've added everything to this fucking story, bro.
I don't know why in my mind.
You're like, he's giddy.
He's proper giddy. Like, I just see him setting up a second room.
In the living room. To watch movies.
He's got her favourite teas. Like, he's gone out and bought new sheets and he's got like candles. And like he's gone out and bought like hand wash and stuff. Like, you know, like men don't really have those things in their houses. Like, in my mind, that's what I'm picturing. He's proper laying in the bed, like just fluffing up the pillows and stuff.
Stick to the truth.
But no,
needs help.
That's my interpretation, and it's completely off. But yeah, just ask him why, and then take it from there. Because you might, just take it from there.
Because honestly, I think it was something just like, okay, or what?
Yeah, I feel like it is going to be or what situation.
Yeah, or what now? And you don't really argue. Don't give this man a reason to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't give him a reason to make him choose. Oh my God, because that will really hurt.
My leg was going to cramp. Okay, next dilemma. Yes.
Hi, ladies. Love listening to your podcast. Keep it going. I wasn't sure whether to write in, but would be great to hear your opinions. Sorry, this is so long. So I've been with a great man for almost 3 years. He makes me laugh, is very caring, different to a lot of guys I've met, and we are so compatible. However, I have some concerns. We discussed marriage, living together, kids topic early on. Although maybe I wasn't explicit about my expectations, and she says here in bullet points. 1, recently, when I've asked his opinion on marriage and timelines, He says marriage isn't essential and benefits the woman and asks my real reasoning for wanting to get married. He jokes that he will propose sometime in the next decade, bearing in mind we're almost mid-30s and I've always insisted on marriage before kids.
Okay.
Number 2, he still lives at home pretty much for free and has previously lived on his own for less than 1 year. I feel like I'm very independent and self-sufficient, whereas his meals are always cooked at home, etc. So our lifestyles differ. And I've noticed a slight maturity difference. To give him credit, he's worked hard to become a property owner and rents them out. Oh, that doesn't count then. He doesn't want to live in them. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? There's more than one. He doesn't want to live in them. He doesn't believe in renting, understandably, and says that if we can, he'd like to buy another rent and then afterwards, which we'll live in together. So he says, neither of us earn a great deal. He's saving from scratch again and I'm renting. It can fluctuate, but he does make some profit. However, he also spends a fair bit on designer stuff. Mm-hmm. So I find it a bit frustrating seeing as he has such big goals. The progress I thought we'd be making by now is proving to be slow. I feel like I'm supporting his dreams, but he's not compromising or being realistic. It's putting pressure on me and the relationship as I would just live in one of the properties if needs be. Then we'd have savings to maybe go towards a small wedding or cushion for when we have kids. He says he wants kids soon, which is not a good idea. I do sometimes worry, though, that due to my age and wanting kids at some point too, that I may have to just go along with the current setup. He says we'll figure it out as we go along. And the worst case scenario, if I became pregnant, I could live with his or my family temporarily. It makes no sense to me. I've debated and come up with ideas, but he's very fixed on how he sees things and doesn't want to delve too deeply into the discussion. Please let me know your thoughts if you can, and thanks for reading.
Girl, here is the thing. Leave him.
Yeah.
And I say that, I don't even say that lightly. Look, you've gotten away in actually, it's not leave him. It's not actually that straight thing. There are options here. There are 2 options. You stay with him or you leave him. And you have a set plan on how you want your life. You're in your mid-30s, you want children. Unfortunately, it is something we have to think about in the way our bodies are made. Although, I don't think we necessarily have to believe all what they told you. Women are having kids in their late 30s, women are having kids in their 40s. All these things are very possible, fair, right? Okay, so you want these things, you want the children, you want the marriage, and you want it relatively quite soon, ideally, right? And he's saying that's not what he wants. He wants some time, he doesn't want it now, blah, 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 blah. And men can have that. Men can be selfish and be like, they've got more time than us when it comes to the body clock and things like that. It's different for them. So he can take his time and figure it out, right? What you need to decide is if there is a world in your 40s, your late 30s, that you didn't get to have the kids, didn't get to be married, but still be with him, is that okay for you? If it's, I want kids because I want kids, or I want kids with this man, I want marriage with this man, or I want to be married and I want children. Doesn't have to be this man. I just want it. But if it's, I want it with this man, and that's absolutely okay. You are allowed to be like, this is the man I want to be with. I love him. I believe in him. I believe in us, blah, 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 blah. You have to be like, if this man, and you're 40s, you're 50, and it hasn't happened, he doesn't want it, he still dilly-daddling, are you just happy enough just to be with him? Is having him enough? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. If it's, no, I want my children, I want to get married, then leave him.
I definitely think she should leave him. I think that they are misaligned completely. From the way you set out your email, you're clearly a very concise person. You're clearly someone that likes to plan. You're clearly someone that has this structure and these goals set for their lives, for your life. And he clearly is someone that lives more on the edge. He's a bit more sporadic. He's not a planner. And I just don't think you're aligned. The fact that you really want marriage and kids and you've got these values that you want to be married before you have children, and he's kind of against marriage, I think that already kind of says that you guys are not on the same page. And the thing is, you can be in love with someone and be completely misaligned. The 2 things can be true at the same time. But I totally agree with what Tolly's saying. You need to think about what is more important to you. If you are hell-bent on sticking to your values and your, the things that you want for yourself, then I don't believe that this guy is for you. And I just don't believe in being with people that again, I think that compromise is one of the biggest things in a relationship. You should be able to meet in the middle. And if you're if you're hell-bent on one way and he's hell-bent on one way and no
Someone-
one's budging, someone's got to give. And if no one wants to give, then you're just going to be stuck.
And I think eventually, sometimes you get tired of being the person who gives.
Exactly.
Like, I've given, man. I'm
exactly.
like, why can't you compromise? I'm
And
compromising.
they never want to. And usually those people that are like that, they're like, well, that's up to you. If you want to compromise on your things, then don't compromise.
Exactly.
But I'm not budging,
yeah.
kind of thing. And it's just like, I feel like you always resent people like that.
Yeah.
Because you've given so much of yourself, or you've given away so much of like what you wanted for yourself. And you didn't really mention that much about the relationship and all the rest of it. You've kind of just gone straight into like, these are the things that I want. And that's completely fair. These are the things that I want. So to me, it tells me that those things are really important to you. And there's no urgency. And that's fine. He doesn't have to have urgency. But I just think that the big things in relationships, if you're not on the same page about it, then I'm
and also, it's okay for someone's timeline to not be exactly yours, right? But you can't tell me a decade.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, you can be like,
he said sometime in the next decade.
In a year or two, by next year, but you can't tell me a decade. Like what that's 10 years.
Exactly.
If I'm correct, 10 years of no.
Yeah.
And also that feels really like, the word is not passive, like kind of like you're telling me to shut up. You're like,
Dismissive,
the next decade. Yeah, dismissive, sorry. Like you're being dismissive. What do you mean the next decade?
Yeah. Yeah, because that could be tomorrow. That
you're
could
taking
literally
the piss.
be 2035.
Okay, cool. You're not ready right now, but you're saying to me, babe, give me like a year or two. I just want to figure out the house, blah, blah, blah. And if in your mind's like, okay, cool, I can wait a year or two, fair. But I don't, no. What do you mean the next decade? You're taking the piss out of me.
I think,
And the next decade literally cannot, it doesn't work with you and what you want. It doesn't work with you in wanting children. You're saying you're nearly in your mid-30s. Next decade is 45.
And you were so adamant about these things. Like you mentioned them a couple of times in your email about the importance of like marriage and kids. You've got your values. Like I just don't think that, and especially like, because sometimes people come along and they might make you, I don't know, they might make you move a little bit on some of your ideas or, your timeline or something because they've got something so great to offer.
But this one doesn't.
But this doesn't really sound like he's got anything that amazing. Like obviously it's dope, but he's got his properties and stuff like that. But he's got no intentions of moving out of his mum and dad's house, out of his parents' house. Life is cushy. He's not thinking about like your partnership and how you guys move forward. He's thinking about what works for him, what benefits him. And to me, that's not someone that is ready for the same things that you're ready for. So I think that if it were me, I just wouldn't, and because you're so adamant that you want these things, I wouldn't want to waste any more time. And it's like sometimes we waste time with people and it's just like, they can't give us what we want. And that's fine. Like he's not necessarily wrong, but he's not the person for you, I don't think. Like they just sound very different. And sometimes different can work, but you can be two completely different people, but you're agreed on this one thing. Like, okay, in the next couple of years, we want to get married. In the next couple of years, we want to have kids. We want to do that. And one person can be scatty and one person can be super organized. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but you're misaligned on your values.
You can't tell me next decade.
Yeah, next decade is definitely a par.
Yeah. No, it's actually a par. You're actually taking the piss out of me, but cool.
Yeah.
Next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Okay. Hey, gorgeous ladies. Love you both so much. I discovered your podcast a few years ago and have been locked in ever since. You keep me entertained in all my journeys to and from work, have me cracking up on the bus and train like a mad woman. Here's my dilemma. So it's long, but I really need some advice because I'm honestly at my wit's end. I'm a 30-year-old black woman living in London and honestly, I'm just fucking bored. Like genuinely bored of life. I've been trying to pick up new hobbies like painting, clay work, getting back into my art bag, but nothing's scratching the itch of bringing me real joy. I have no friends, haven't had any for about 4 years now. I had to cut off a lot of people because they were trash, users, fake friends, and honestly just jealous because I was that girl. Was the life of the party, the one everyone gravitated towards. They couldn't handle it. It was giving serious haters in disguise energy. So I had to protect my peace and let them go. Now, it's just me and my siblings, but they've got their own lives, their own friends, their own kids, and I'm just here alone, bored out of my mind. Love life is in the absolute bin. I got out of a toxic relationship last year with a man who was mentally abusive and a druggie. It turned me into someone I didn't even recognize, but you live, you learn, you heal. Work, hate it. Hate the industry, hate the vibes, hate the fake force, small talk. I get along with my colleagues because I'm not a rude bitch. But would I call them outside of my office? Absolutely not. You couldn't pay me enough. I've been applying for new jobs, but honestly, the job market is in the gutter, in the trenches, on life support. Nothing's coming through. And to top it off, I don't even know what I actually want to do career-wise. I'm just here like a lot of sheep with Wi-Fi, firing off CVs into the void and hoping for the best. It's given serious career crisis. I'm trying to entertain myself with solo dates to the cinema, dinners, little treats, but there's only so much you can do alone before the loneliness really starts weighing on you. I even signed up for another Times Out dinner with strangers next month. It's women only, so fingers crossed I can actually click with someone this time. Last time was meh, but we move. But honestly, I'm just fucking bored. I have no one to probably talk to. Life feels stagnant. I live at home with my mum, who I don't really get along with because she's an alcoholic, and moving out in this economy is a myth. I'm stuck in a job I hate and lonely as hell. On top of all of that, I have a history of depression. I'm currently on a high dose of antidepressants, and I'm scared of slipping back into the dark place. When I start overthinking, it gets dark very quickly. Sometimes I genuinely find myself thinking, fuck it, what's the point of any of this? And that thought really scares me. So what do I do, lovies? How do I get out this funk? How do I build a life that actually feels worth living again? Please help, I'm desperate. Lots of love and a few tears. Your bored, lonely babe. That's really sad.
Yeah, that is.
Look, here's the thing. I think it's like really easy for people to say to you, hey, you're doing the right things. You're going on a solo date, you're going on solo dinners, you're going on solo cinemas, but it's still solo. I think like sometimes it's like, just do it. You feel better. You don't, because I think there's having to accept that, but I'm still doing it by myself, right? This idea that life feels stagnant, I was like that heavy last year. I was just like, everything just feels stagnant. And that was what it was. I kept saying, I'm tired. And it wasn't like I was like, sometimes a lot of it was physically tired, but I was like, I'm tired. Every therapy session, she's like, how you doing? I was like, I'm tired. And it got to a point, she was like, you're not tired, you're bored. She was like, you're very, very bored and things just feel at a standstill. And I'm very conscious of being an active participant in my life and not just letting it happen to me. And whenever I've got to a place when life is just happening to me, that's when I'm at my worst. I'm my lowest, I feel stagnant, I'm bored. Because I just very aware that like, I am not taking charge of anything. I'm just letting things happen to me. And that is, and I can only speak for you. I can only speak personally in this. And I hope that you take something and it sticks, or it feels like it can relate to you, because you're doing the things, but you're still doing it by yourself. It's still lonely. You're going to work. You're okay. You're active. Like, you're probably in a depressive state right now, but you're active. So if it doesn't, you're able to get up. You're able to clean your house. You're able to go into work. You're able to go on the dates and things like that. And I think it is very normal to feel like, cool, everything is happening, but I'm bored. And I think that's an incredibly dangerous place to be at, just to be like, I'm bored and I don't know what it is to fix this. My first thing, like I said, would be to be like, okay, I'm going to actively make the changes in my life, right? I jokingly always say you're not a tree, move. And you're in positions like that you can't really move. You can't move out of your mum's house because, like you said, it's not affordable and things like that. You're trying to get a new job. But again, like you said, it's hell out here trying to figure out a job. So I understand the frustrations. I think I'll start with that. I completely understand your frustrations to be like, I just don't know what to do. And as you can tell with me babbling, I don't know what to tell you to do, because I don't think there is like a, do this and then you're going to feel better. It's not. And I think in the meantime of the like boredom, of the, I don't know what to do, I feel out of my depth, out of power. One thing I know it sounds really stupid, but I would just say something that helped me was like, physically doing something with my body, in terms of like, if like I'm able to, if I fix a goal on that, I want to be able to lift 80K, I don't know, whatever. But it was like a goal that had my mind. And I think there was something about taking the power back to be like, okay, I'm going to be more goal driven. I'm going to decide that I'm going to change this thing. And then I think it allows focus in your life, and maybe the boredom dulls down a little bit because you've got some version of a focus. But again, you're still saying you're lonely. And like you said, all you can do is try and make these friends, right? I think speak to your siblings a bit more. I think there is some times when you are a bit lonely, you are a bit sad, people around you might not know it. So the assumption is that you're fine. And then you're getting doubly punished. Because everyone thinks you're getting over it and you're fine, and then you're still sad. So I think it's worth saying to your siblings that like, hey guys, I'm just going through a hard time at the moment. I feel really lonely. And then they'll probably do a better job of like bringing you in with their friends. I know siblings where they all have the same friendship group. Like all of their friends are cool, all of the friends are tight. So it's like a sibling will take you out when she's going out with her friends, and you meet a friend from her friends that you like, and suddenly you guys start hanging out and things like that. I think the people who you know love you and who are around you, say to them, guys, I feel really lonely. And I think you will see that people, again, will actually actively start to try helping you. If it's, okay, I've got my own friends, but I'm going to invite you over to this thing as well. And again, when people feel lonely, it's really, really easy to isolate. Because you're like, I don't want to be around anybody. I feel shit. Everything is shit. So let me just sometimes when we tell ourselves bad things, we affirm it by doing the action. Oh, I'm lonely. So I want to make sure I'm in my room by myself to really affirm and sit in there like I am lonely. So I think like reach out. I know you said that you had friends that they were all haters, were all awful, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure there is one person or there might be one person that's like, actually, let me reach out to this person. I'm sure there is your sibling who was just like, actually, let me reach out to this person. If you have socials, there's someone that's always in your DM somewhere. I think we underestimate how many people are lonely. I think so many people assume that everybody has all the friends in the world and they're all like, and you see it, group girls holiday, girls dinner, girls brunches. And if you are someone who doesn't have anyone, you're like, oh wait, everybody. Like you see people saying, oh, this is what best friend looks like. And people are matching outfits, people perform besties on the internet, perform friendships and perform women groups. So I can imagine how that is going to really hit and make it feel worse. But like, I think find the people who do love you in your life, tell them how you feel. And I think they will come together in kind of making it better. You're not in a great situation at home. And yeah, that sucks. Like, and at the moment, there's nothing much you can do with it. So as much as you can find other goals that take you out of that space and make you not sit there, because I can imagine you're probably just sat in the room.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think that because she mentioned so many different areas of her life and it feels like every area is shit. And I feel like sometimes when you're trying to tackle everything all at once, it feels very overwhelming. So I would maybe pick 2 things that are really important to you. If it's making new friends and finding work, focus on those things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you're not trying to tackle this great big massive beast, because that is going to be very overwhelming. And for anybody, it will be tough to like figure everything out, whether it be your relationship with your mum, whether it be like, you know, work, whether it be the friend situation, whether it's the loan. There's so many different things. So whatever you feel like is most important to you right now, like I think you can apply that with what Tolly said at the beginning about finding a goal. Like that can be your goal. Like the things that you really want to focus on. Like I really want to be intentional about making new friends. Like, let me focus on that, or let me just put my head down and figure out this career thing. Because maybe in turn, when you figure out the career thing, the friends may follow. Do you know what I mean? Or when you figure out the friends thing, the work may follow. You just don't know what is going to lead you down the path of like happiness, or even if it's just temporary happiness. So I would say that as well. Like I would just add that as well. Just be like, just don't think that you have to tackle everything at once. Like you can take things in baby steps, you know?
Next dilemma.
Let's go.
It's
me, isn't it?
You sure is.
Okay. So it says, trigger warning, mention of assault and rape. Hey ladies, it's my first time writing in. I've only been listening for a few months. You both have changed my weekends. Getting me through shifts are so slow. You are making such an impact. Keep on being brilliant. Thank you. This may be long, but I'm looking for an opinion rather than an answer. Any advice would be appreciated.
Okay.
I'm 18 and my boyfriend is 19. We have been seeing each other for 7 months. He has met my mom and immediate family, and they have all said the same thing, that he is controlling and he continually puts me down. I haven't noticed this behavior, but I do feel like I have been accepting other outrageous actions from him. Going back a few months ago, he got drunk after being out with his mates and crashed at his girlfriend's house. Now, I have never met her before, so I have no idea what their relationship is like, but this made me feel so uncomfortable. We spoke, he said he wouldn't do it again. A few weeks later, the exact same thing happened with another girl, where he didn't text me for the whole night he was there. I was filled with so much anxiety and worry, but I'm not sure if insecurity is coming from within myself or not. Not to mention, he is very pushy in terms of sex, to the point I wondered if I had got assaulted or not. Sex has become a hobby since he has no job, so therefore we didn't go on any dates at the start of the relationship. I just feel used. Although the staying around girls' houses is resolved, I resent him so much but continue to stay. In the past, he has also claimed another girl made a false rape allegation against him, and I'm starting to think if it was true. I do not see this working long term, but this relationship is very convenient for me at the moment before I go to university in September, as I don't have many friends in my area and I'm quite shy. He makes me feel so insecure about myself. I constantly have anxiety that he will find someone better than me, even though he isn't all that himself. Thank you for reading. Can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts. I mean, I think it's absolutely a no-brainer that you're not in a good relationship or a healthy relationship. And do you know what's so crazy is that when you meet someone's parents, anybody with common sense is going to put their best foot forward. Do you know what I mean? They're going to try their hardest to leave a good impression. if your family members walked away from that meeting for the first time knowing that he's controlling or getting a sense that he's controlling, I want to know what energy he was giving off for them to like pick up on that. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, that's number one. And then number two, if you feel like you're being used and that he's pushy with sex and you feel like, you know, he's assaulted you, then he has. Like, and I don't want you to feel gaslit into thinking it's anything else. But this is not a healthy relationship. Like, I definitely would recommend like you walk away from this. Like,
there's not a singular.
Yeah, there's no redeeming qualities about this person.
Not one. Like, leave him right now. As I'm talking to you right now, please find a way to message this guy and be like, this is not right for me. What do you mean this person is so abusive? This is a horrible situation. You don't see him. He's controlling. He's disrespected you a couple of times, but it's convenient before you go uni. Do you die if you don't have a boyfriend until September? Does anything, like, I get it. You're quite lonely. You're quite shy. When you go to uni, you're going to have to practice making new friends. Use this summer to put that into practice. Pick up more shifts at work. Talk to you people that you work with. Busy yourself. Like, busy yourself with a relationship that is not good for you. You have to go. I want to give you a hug and shake you equally. Like, you have to leave this boy. Please. I don't know anything else to say. Please, you have, like, so you're going to carry on dealing with all of this bullshit up until September.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even see a future with him. You don't even want to be with him. I don't think you like him.
Yeah.
Let him go try and find someone better. Like, go away from him.
She said that she doesn't even see this being long term. It's just convenient. This is not even convenient.
What do you mean convenient till September?
This is not even convenient. He makes you feel uncomfortable about sex. He says that someone conveniently has had a false allegation against him. That is a very, like, that is very sketchy.
What month are we in?
That is very sketchy.
Leave him now. Go, like, again, busy yourself. If you finish your exams, you've done your A-levels, take up more shifts at work, do a work experience. Go to, there will be a Facebook group or some kind of group of people who are going to your university this year. Start making friends there. Start meeting up with them to be like, hey, you two are going to Surrey. She's not going to Surrey, I'm just saying Surrey. Let's meet up and talk about Surrey. Go and find things to do. DLT will be on. I don't even know what area. Come to London for a week.
Yeah, do something. Just get out of the situation. And because you're so young, you're only 18, I want you to start learning that you don't need to be dependent on men for your happiness. Like, start teaching yourself that now. Do not set the tone for your life by being in this toxic relationship, because these relationships that you have when you're young, they really shape who
and then it'll end up going longer than what it is. You go to uni now, he gets controlling, he comes to meet you up at uni, and then suddenly you can't end it. You're in it for 5 years.
Exactly. And that does happen. It happens often where, like, people are just, you know, guys like that where they want to control you. They're not happy for you when you are moving on in life and they see you flourishing. They're not happy. They find ways to sabotage. You don't want that to be a thing where it's affecting your education and therefore affecting, like, what you go on to do. Learn now to set the tone for, like, your expectations. Because I promise you, if you accept this now, this could spiral. Do you know what I mean? And you deserve so much better. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't be with someone that you're questioning whether or not they assaulted you or not. And on top of it, he's being incredibly disrespectful. What do you mean you're staying at other girls' houses? You're doing all of that, and then on top of that,
you're not controlling.
You're controlling. On top of that, you're being disrespectful by staying at girls' houses and going and ghosted all night, and I can't get through to you. No relationship should fill you with anxiety to the point where
this is not good.
You have to, like, write into us or feel like shit. Like, at this young age, like, be free. Like, sometimes you don't get these years back.
Young girls' relationship feel like the bad feelings is a part of it.
Yeah, they think it's a rite of passage or something.
You can actually have a really lovely life. You can actually start building a really good, firm example and foundation for how the rest of your relationships are going to go. You don't have to go through this, oh, it was so sucky, but you know, I lived to tell the tale. There's women who have dated lovely men their whole lives.
Yeah. I want to hear more from them.
Yeah.
I want to hear more from them.
Great, lovely relationships that's built up to the person that they are today. It doesn't have to be horrible for it to feel real.
Yeah.
Please.
It really does shape you.
Yeah.
Like, and
now you're convinced this is what all men are like. So now every relationship you go into, you now start going into the same kind of person because you stuck. Girl, as someone who's stayed in a very bad relationship for a very long time, please go right now.
Or they beat down on your spirits for so long that you actually just become a shell of your former self. I remember
Freshers Week. My ex would not leave Brunel University. He didn't come there.
Yeah.
My Freshers Week, he was there every day. I want to spend time with you. No, you
No,
don't.
you don't. You just want to watch what I'm doing.
You just don't want me to.
Yeah,
Like, I want to stay with you for the week. During Freshers Week.
Exactly. This one I'm supposed to be getting lit and having a good time.
And you know you did that on purpose.
This guy will definitely ruin your first year experience at uni. Like 100%. You're not even gone yet and this is how he's acting.
Yeah, no.
What's going to happen when you leave? Like, free yourself. Like, give yourself like what you deserve, you know? Like, yeah, definitely leave. Like, no two ways.
Like now. Right, next dilemma. Hey girls, I absolutely adore you both and I've listened to every single episode. You write up all my long drives to work. Keep shining. Thank you. I'm struggling with a dilemma and could really use your advice. Last year, I cheated on my boyfriend. Let's call him Jay, for 4 months. And to this day, I haven't told him. We've been together for about 5 years, but our relationship hit a rough patch after getting back together following a 6-month split. He had just lost his brother and I supported him through it, but the timing wasn't great. He was working crazy hours, often 90 hours a week, and I was working in a different city to him. During this time, I felt incredibly lonely and depressed. I didn't even feel like I was in a relationship because Jay was so consumed with work. He wasn't able to meet any of my needs, and when I did see him, which was only 1 day a week, he would be so vacant and would literally fall asleep mid-conversation. At my work, a colleague, let's call him Sam, who had a girlfriend, started flirting with me, and I enjoyed the attention because it was something I was missing in my relationship. After a work night out, one thing led to another, and we ended up sleeping together. The next day, I felt sick with guilt and told Sam it was a mistake, but he kept pursuing me, and we began a 4-month affair. I've been in therapy since and realised that affair was a way of escaping the pain of feeling neglect. Sam gave me what I needed from my boyfriend, and I got off the thrill of feeling alive in something as my relationship felt so dead. I deeply regret what I did and recognise how damaging it was. No one can make me feel as bad as I feel about it. I also found out that Sam is a serial cheater and has cheated on all his past girlfriends. He also did bits with another colleague at our workplace whilst having an affair with me, which I had no idea about.
You're always in the centre of some cheating.
But it's also none of your business. I'm so sorry. I cut Sam off completely when I left my job and honestly want nothing to do with him again. Meeting him was one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. Now, Jay and I are in a much better place. We both have jobs with more manageable hours and we're living in the same city. I truly believe I would never make that mistake again. Jay means the world to me, and even though throughout my affair, I knew he was always the one. I really see a future with this man and have done so much work on myself since my mistake. My dilemma is, do I tell Jay the truth, even though I know it would hurt him like crazy, or should I take the secret to my grave and continue to work on our relationship, which is in a much healthier space now? Can you even have a successful relationship built on this kind of dishonesty? I feel that I'm being manipulative by not giving Jay any agency over his choices as he doesn't know the truth. Thanks so much for listening and for your advice for a very confused girl.
I don't know whether I'm broken when it comes to this whole topic or whether it kind of is like this whole I genuinely, like, I don't know if it's like I'm very problematic or this idea of like telling people the truth is the right thing to do because, you know, you should be honest and you want to lead with like a clean slate and all the rest of it, and or whether it truly has just got, or whether it really is just you trying to absolve yourself of guilt. Like, I don't know which of the three is true, because for me, you guys have, I don't know that I would confess that. Do you know what I mean? But again, I genuinely don't know if it's like the right thing to do is to let this person know that you've done this thing so that you can give them, like she says, the agency to make a decision about whether they want to stay or not, or whether you want to just offload your guilt onto them and just ruin their day and make them feel like shit when you know that you want to be with them and all the rest of it.
But then I get what you mean about the putting your guilt onto them, because it does that, but it's not going to make you feel any better because the likelihood they'll leave you.
Exactly. So you're going to lose your person and make them feel like shit. You should hold it. Because I really feel like you should, because it sounds to me like she's not like someone who's cheated and she she obviously feels shit about it. She obviously feels like she's learned from it. She's acknowledged like what was going on in the relationship and what may have led to it. And there's no excuses. That doesn't justify it at all. Because if you're not happy, that still doesn't justify it. But I feel like she's acknowledged all of that. They're in a better place. They're moving forward. If you want to stay with him, what good is that going to do apart from he's going to leave you and he's going to make you feel like shit? I would rather have my person and feel like shit.
My thing
and hold
is,
it.
because because she wrote this dilemma, right? She's made herself be like, this happened because it was, and then, oh my God, poor me, the guy I was cheating with was then also, a serial cheater. Oh, you cheated for 4 months.
Is that exactly?
I'm so sorry, but like, I know you've already said no one can make you feel worse, but this whole like, and then can you even imagine Sam at work was also still cheating? Okay, so. Like,
exactly. That
like,
that's the kind of vibe.
I did it. We had sex the one time and I felt so guilty, but he kept pursuing me. So I carried on for 4 months.
Yeah,
4 months
is a long
get
time.
the fuck out of here. Like, you don't get to do bad things and then be like, but it wasn't all on me. He wouldn't stop pursuing me. And my boyfriend was just working all the time and his brother just died. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Again, this is not a job to make you feel worse, but you really wrote that in a way to really absolve yourself of any sort of like, I've fucked up here. And do you tell, sometimes when I think about these things, I always think, if I was the person being cheated on, would I want to know? I think if there's ever a way I'd find out, tell me. I really like someone giving me all the information and they're allowing me the option to say, okay, cool, I understand. We were going for a bad patch. Because if you're going for a bad patch, you would have felt it too. Right? We were going for a bad patch. I get it. I need some time. Or I actually don't want anything to do with you. I think it's incredibly unfair to say you love someone and not give them full information. I liken it to something as small as, I really want to go out on Saturday and everyone's busy, but I want Audrey to come with me. But I'm just going to act like Audrey this is an eventual like. But I know she's going to hate it. But because I really want to go out, I'm just not going to tell her all the information.
Yeah.
It could be a pump rock party, but for 30 minutes, I don't know. DJ AG is going to perform. But everything else is punk rock.
Shout out him.
So I'm only going to tell her the 30 minutes that AG is going to be there and then expect her to stay the whole night. That's not, I don't think you do something like that to someone you love. Give me all the information and let me decide. I think maybe I'd be more like, if it was just like a one-time thing and you're like, fuck, I might even be like, that one, hold that guilt to your chest.
Deal with it.
And deal with it. But you carried on for, I hate when people make a fool of me. Like, oh, you've made a fool of my love for you. You took the piss out of me. Yeah. And sometimes that's how I feel, not having full information. Like, you've made a fool of me. Like, you've made a fool of my love. You've made a fool of how much I care about you. And also, you've made a fool of my grief. Because I wasn't just a bastard.
That's why he shouldn't know that.
He should know that and get the option to leave her. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Like, I before I used to proper be like, no, don't confess. Why would you do that? And I still am leaning more towards that because I just feel like,
I get your point though.
You did something fucked up.
Now you come and tell me and ruin my day.
I mean, she hasn't, and I don't know, I think maybe I'm projecting a little bit because that did happen, that happened to me. But it was like a friend came to tell me something and I just remember my day being ruined. I've told the story so many times. I remember I was at uni, I was in such a good mood, the sun was shining, I was changing my bed sheets.
But that's because a friend told you.
I was in such a high, yeah. No one that's ever cheated on me has ever come out. Like, I've been in relationships where I've been cheated on, obviously, but no one's ever come to me and been like, by the way, I feel so bad. That's why I don't think it's a natural thing to do that. And that's why sometimes I think it's more about that person's...
No, I've done really quite small things to people, not cheating, and I'd feel like I shouldn't tell them.
Yeah, but I think that's different because same. But like...
No, Audrey, look, remember the rat in the restaurant story?
The what?
The rat in your birthday restaurant. Yeah, no, of course it was funny. But of course it was funny. But eventually you had to be like, yo, I can't lie, I'm so sorry. I took you to this restaurant and there was a rat there.
Yeah.
And that was something small. That wasn't even a big thing, right?
Yeah,
I knew this information and I still deceived you guys and I took you there. Matt, haha.
If something terrible had happened to someone, I might have kept my mouth shut.
That's a lie. If someone had got incredibly ill, you'd have been like, fuck, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I would, definitely. I don't know. I'm really conflicted on it because I just feel like okay, there was a lack of accountability on your part there. Definitely. There was a lot of absolving. And I don't know if it's because you were writing to us so you wanted to give us full context. And, and maybe
I'm not even convinced if Jay, the person she was cheating on, wasn't a serial cheater himself, she would have stopped. Because that's what stopped her.
Yeah. It was her ego. It was her ego. Like, I'm one of many. Like, I'm not the special snowflake kind of thing.
Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. But I feel sorry for Jay in this situation.
The boyfriend?
Yeah. Because I just feel like if you truly feel like you've learned from that situation, you realize nothing good came from it, and you've realized like the impact that caused your relationship, and you feel like shit, and and you guys have worked for it and you're in a better place. I just don't see the point in. I'm just thinking about the person.
Would you ever want a partner to come up to you to be like, I fucked up, I cheated?
No, I would not. If we've moved forward and we're good, and if there's a difference between like if we're gonna go somewhere and I'm gonna like there's a possibility.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But if there's no chance this person lives in Timbuktu, there's no chance I'm ever gonna find out and we're in a good space, I don't want to know.
You're never gonna find out they had a 4-month affair. You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know,
I think I'd want to know.
I don't think I want to know.
I think I'd want to know. Because I think, honestly, for me, it's how it says a lot about how you see me. I can't be with someone that's done that to me.
Yeah, I hear
it. And then
it.
I think everything we're building is deceit. It's a lie. It's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I think, I don't know, it's a very tricky one. So
you're saying don't tell
where's
him?
Paul C. Bronson when you need him? My gut is telling me she shouldn't go and ruin that man's life. If you've truly learned, though. Like, if you truly feel sorry and you truly feel awful, like what you say you do, because based off of everything else she said in the email, to me, she sounds like the kind of person that wants to absolve her guilt. And it's,
right,
do you know what I mean? And him having agency and all the rest of it, I don't know. I
think
know.
if you was telling me there was I had random sex with someone on holiday that I'll never see, then I'll be like, hold to that one and feels, what, you did a 4-month affair, someone that you worked with, someone you saw every day, like also at the specific time of my life that you did it.
Yeah, I think that would be very painful. That's another thing that I'm thinking, like, damn, he's going to do the maths and he's going to check the timelines and he's going to realise. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe, but the thing is, at the same time, like how you always say sometimes everything needs to be burnt down and you need to start again. It might be a situation where everything does need to be burnt down. Do you know what I mean? Because then it's like, you can truly start afresh. Because I also understand this concept of like, this starting afresh is not real. And I can see why she feels like, we're not really starting afresh because I've got this great big massive secret that's hanging over us. And it's like, it's holding us back. So I get that side of things.
And also, how good are you really when it's only working out now because you're back in the same city and he's working less?
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, if we're going to talk about long-term relationship, there's going to be another time that some more shit is going to happen. I'm always a big thing for me. I remember seeing this older woman talk about it in an interview, and she said, when you pick a partner, think about how they will be with you when your parent dies. So that the likelihood is that you'll be with this person when a parent dies. Think about how they deal with you. You don't get to cheat because I am sad.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what the fuck are we doing? What is, you hate me. You don't get to cheat. I've lost my brother. I'm working extra hours to distract myself. I'm falling asleep muse conversations because I'm tired and I'm sad.
It's actually
you
very
don't
true.
get to cheat because of that.
Yeah. That's kind of, that's because then what will you do if he actually
more
fucks
things
up?
are gonna happen.
He hasn't actually done anything.
Someone else is probably gonna die. He's gonna be distanced again.
Yeah.
He's gonna grow older. Maybe you not want to have sex as often. Something is gonna happen. Something's gonna happen in your life. Like, I need to be with someone that's not gonna cheat when the going gets tough.
No, I hear it because you need real accountability. I feel like real accountability, part of that is taking responsibility. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and in order to really like grow, sometimes you need to get flogged. Like, you actually need to, do you know what I mean? You actually need to get real lashings and not like, you don't get to sweep things under the rug and you just get to move on and this person's none the wiser. So I'm very conflicted. Like, ordinarily, I would say don't say anything because you feel like you guys are in a better space. But I also do see the idea of like, if you really want this clean slate that you're speaking of, this is a fake clean slate. It's still got shit on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you want it to be truly clean, like truly clean, then come clean kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I was not helpful.
This is the consequences to your actions.
But this is what comes with it. Yeah, this is what comes with it when you...
It's what it is.
Yeah, this is what comes with it, unfortunately. But then there's a part of me that's just like, hold it, man. Feel like shit. You should. And then you make it up to this guy and be the best partner you can be to him moving forward, and don't add more pain to his... he's been through so much already.
I understand your rationale with that.
And now it's like you're going to add more. Now he's going to think, oh my God, you were doing this, and you're going to leave him with all these feelings that if you feel like you've truly resolved it and worked through it, don't put that on someone else. He probably could deal without that right now. Hold it, you deal with it, and just try to do better and move forward.
I think my big thing is also we're talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not even marriage.
Yeah.
Leave that man alone. Like I said, there's certain things that people carry for come on boyfriend. Please leave him alone.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
Like, tell that man the truth and take the lashings that you deserve.
Yeah. And you never know. He might not even leave.
You might not leave.
He might not leave, but at least he knows.
Yeah. All right, next and last.
Next and last, is it me, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Dear Audrey and Tolly,
Hello.
I hope you are both doing extremely well and are having a lovely fake spring here in that felt like shade. I've been having a really rough go of it, but I'm so glad for little pockets of sunshine in this moment, like the both of you. You're both such amazing women, especially in times like this. You remind me of how I can still stand up every morning and see the value in myself as a Black woman, even if I'm not so strong all of the time.
You've got this, babe.
Sorry, it's a really long one. I feel like no one ever talks about this form of cheating.
Okay.
So I just broke up with my partner of 2.5 years. I didn't think we'd ever see the day that we'd separate, and definitely not anytime soon. We were thinking about when we might start thinking about kids, saving for a house, and visiting different areas we might want to move to. I mean, we'd been through issues in the past, but what I really loved about this guy was that we could actually talk about and work on things. He was quite an emotionally open guy, and I found it refreshing to have someone who wasn't worried to share that side of themselves with me. Most mornings, he would get up before me to make me a coffee, give me massages if I was in pain, pick up chocolates for me if I was having a hard day, or sometimes just because he wanted to. For the most part, he treated me well. Some things I learned over time were just my area of expertise, and he has his way of giving something to the relationship. I've been very giving, and I've never held myself back with him in giving all of my love if I wanted to. I did most of the cooking. I did his hair and retwist his locks for hours, breaking my back. I helped him with taking some work thing to court. Even though I'm not a lawyer, I'm good at researching, and this was a hard time for him. I did job applications for him and tried to help after he lost his job. I'm trying not to start listing everything I did for him because, trust me, this doesn't even scratch the surface. But the more I think about how much energy and work and genuine pure love I put into this man, it just hurts so much deeper that he couldn't respect the one thing I told him not to do again.
Oh God.
I don't like porn in my relationship, and each their own. I get it if both people don't mind, but I do. I shared this early on in the getting to know stage, and we moved on. I wasn't ever pressing about anything because with the person he was, I just assumed he'd heard me. And so that was it, and I didn't really feel insecure about it. I had, however, asked him at a later date if he still watched it, and he said no. Why would I? Because you said you didn't like that, so I stopped. And he didn't like how it made him feel. However, one day he wanted to show me something funny he saw on Twitter and went to his bookmarks, and there he had saved some porn of this OF girl. We had a big fight. He said she was saved there because he wanted to go back to it and find more porn, and he didn't know her and he didn't see it as cheating because he wasn't actually with her and blah, blah, blah. But he knew he was wrong because he lied about it and crossed a very clear boundary. He didn't speak for a few days whilst I thought about it, but if I could see myself forgiving him, and he confessed that he had issues with porn, but seeing how badly I was hurt, he never wanted to do it again, and he felt like his life was over when we stopped speaking. I became so insecure because I would think about photos and things I'd sent him, and if I'm just another girl in his private folder, and maybe I'm not enough to satisfy him, but maybe it was a really poor lapse in judgment, and we would build back the trust. I'm not the most forgiving person, but felt like someone worth trying to grow with, and maybe I could even learn something from just not tossing him away. I eventually got back to a place where I trusted that he cared too much about me to do anything behind my back again. But this past week, I had his phone. He unlocked it for me to play games with. I wasn't being sneaky.
Yeah.
And something was just telling me to check. I almost thought it would revalidate me so I could finally close this chapter after so long and see that he actually changed for me. And I don't need to keep any little fear in the back of my head because I believe him when he says I'm the only girl he wants and he obviously loves me. No weird messages, no weirdness saved on Twitter. Even the Instagram Explorer was giving a normal person. And I even saw some stuff he marked as not being interested in seeing. And it felt so good for a second. Then I saw Reddit and it all crumbled. I know Reddit, you know.
Reddit? I would never think to go to man's Reddit.
Me
What's
either.
the your Reddit?
Me either. She had that phone for time. Then I saw Reddit and it all crumbled. He searched for a specific OF star and she looked a little bit like the girl from Twitter too, which made me upset because he clearly has a type that's not me. And was also searching for an actress who had a sex scene that he wanted to find. I could see the date and I knew it happened in the last week, which scared me because nothing about him changed. I tried to slide in leading questions to get him to bring it up himself, but nothing. I even put the girl as my screensaver. Damn. Damn. I even put the girl as my screensaver and asked him to check the time for me, and he asked me who she was. He really wasn't going to own up to anything, I realised, so I pressed him more about it, and eventually he admitted who she was and said he apologised for lying and he was too scared about hurting me and he panicked. We spent hours going back and forth crying, and I just couldn't believe a guy as sweet as him was actually capable of lying so easily. He didn't stutter or fumble at all. To be honest, I was scared by it, but I don't know if that was too dramatic, and it's really not that hard to lie.
It's really not that hard to lie.
And it's really not that hard to lie.
It actually isn't really that hard to lie.
Yeah, no.
It actually isn't. Like, I think people put a lot of stake on it, but sometimes people can just lie fluently.
Damn, long. Okay.
Oh, God.
I've never seen him cry the way he was crying, and my family was home and they were worried someone died. They all love him, by the way, and he was genuinely so lovely to everybody. He told me I was supposed to be the one he marries and has kids with, and he would never see himself with anyone else, and I truly believe that. But even if I believed he'd never cheat in person, and that I can see how good he is with my little niece and nephew, or how he's always been the one sat crying with me, I've gone through several health scares, sexual assault, losing my job, and the daily struggles that come from living with BPD. Is that mad of me to ask him for more? I wish it was something that didn't bother me, because otherwise he fits me so well, and I've never had someone take so much care of me and not judge parts of me I've never been able to share with someone else. Should I be more understanding with an addiction, or is it something I shouldn't forgive because of how he lied and how it makes me see myself just as a body now as soon as sex is mentioned, or if I see anything suggestive at all? I can't personally understand being with someone you love and being able to look at someone else and fantasize about doing things to them. A brief and unintentional thought, maybe, but intentionally pleasuring yourself over a specific person, knowing your partner wouldn't like it, feels so malicious. I've never been in this situation where I feel like I'm losing so many amazing things because of one bad big thing. I can't fault him on anything else, but the bad thing is a big thing for me, and he knew that, so I just don't understand why it's even happened. He said it was just this one time because it had been a good almost 2 years of not doing it, and he almost saw it as like an alcoholic celebrating being sober for so long, then taking a sip. I'm annoyed that I can't see if that's true. No parts of this social algorithm give that vibe, and lets me know his password and leaves his phone with me all the time, but I never actually checked. And with how quick he lied yesterday, I don't know if I'd be stupid to not think he's always been lying somehow. I could see that he didn't have the Reddit until it was re-downloaded a week ago, which I think lines up to be probably the same day he went searching. The first time I accidentally caught him, he didn't lie. I asked what the pictures were and he said straight up, which made me believe he wasn't fully registering how big of a deal it was. What do you think? Unfortunately, with my BPD, it's very hard to not think black and white, especially when it comes to my view of someone. And if I'm triggered, it feels almost impossible to be logical. But I'm not making any big decisions right now, and I'm really trying, but I need help. I've not spoken to my friends because I'm honestly a bit embarrassed, and I don't think they'd be able to comprehend what he's done. Like, girls, I'm not even being the dumb bitch in living in La La Land, but there is no inch of this man that gives liar. He's genuinely so caring in everything else. My mind is completely bent. I'm also trying to figure out what this means about me and my judgment. Would you be mad? Is it a reasonable response to break up, or is it too much of a big reaction? I genuinely don't know. I want him in my life, but I feel I don't know if that makes me stupid. What would that even look like now, or should I not even go there? I've never felt a love like this in my life. Like, I felt reconnected to my own soul somehow after meeting him. Every time I'm about to fall, he would notice before I could and encourage me to never give in to my mental illness. and that I'm actually worth 100 times what I tell myself. I feel insane. I don't understand how this is happening. Anyways, appreciate you both. Keep taking care of yourselves. Woocha.
Because you're so anti-porn, you see it as a personal attack on you. And I think for people maybe who have a different view of porn, like I don't necessarily see a partner. I'm not really one of those people that's like, yeah, go ahead, watching porn every day. It's also not my thing anyway. But if our partner is watching porn, I'm not seeing it as it's because they want to meet that girl and go fuck her, or it's because they think I'm not enough, or it's because they think I'm just a body or just a sexual thing. I just think he's getting, like, people get their sexual feels from other places. But because you see it as such a big deal, it feels like, oh my God, this is a personal attack on me. He's doing this to me and whatever. And you have every right to feel like that. If porn is a no-no, it's a no-no. You told him more than once. He's done it more than once. You're valid in breaking up with this person. That's it. Like, I can't tell you, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, it's not that deep. Oh, come on. Because you feel strongly about this thing. It's like someone saying to me, oh, I feel strongly about someone cheating. And I'm like, oh, but every man cheats. It's not that bad. He still loves you. Cheat. Whatever your huge boundary is your huge boundary. Someone else can think it's small. Someone else can be with someone who watches porn. Someone can be with someone who does many other things. There are many things that in other people's world, it's like, oh, that's not that deep. But to me, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't. I always say I can't have someone that shouts at me. You can be lovely in every way, shape, or form. Once you start raising your voice at me, then it's done.
You gotta go. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what the biggest thing is here, is that this is a hard no for you. And I would never even try to suggest that you budge, or you come around to his, or that you budge on it because you want to be with this person. Like, you've got your reasons why it's a big no, and that's good enough. Like, you shouldn't even have to justify it. And if he can't meet that, then this is not the person for you.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And there's other people out there that have no interest in porn. It's not everybody. I know we normalize it and we talk about it in a way that makes it sound flippant and all the rest of it, which it is as well. So I'm also not going to shame people that are into it. But there are people that it's just not their thing. They're not into it. And I feel like that might be, because it is such a big thing for you, that is something that you have to factor in when you're partnering up with someone. And it is a shame. And that happens. Like, and it's very frustrating when you meet someone, they tick every box. But the one thing that is causing issues is something massive. And this is something massive for you. And I think that if you've broken up, you should probably stay broken up, because he clearly doesn't have the same relationship with porn that you have. And so therefore, it's also maybe not fair on him to ask him to, like, give up on something, which
I'm not convinced he thinks he's got an addiction.
No, I don't think he does. I don't think
he's got an addiction. The way you made it sound anyway. I think he just enjoys porn.
Exactly. I don't think he's got an addiction. I think it feels elevated because of the sneakiness and he's been lying to you. So that's where the element of, like, betrayal was come into it. But in terms of, like, his consumption, but then again, I mean, I don't know. I don't have his phone. But you have had access to his phone. So from that, but that's by the by, I feel like that's not even relevant. I think that, if that's something that he enjoys and he wants to partake in, he shouldn't also be in a dictatorship, in the sense that, like, he wants to engage in this. And clearly he loves you, and that's why he's been hiding it. And ordinarily I wouldn't condone that. But I think that he's also been in a complicated situation where he loves you, but he enjoys this little thing. So he's been sneaking around, and you shouldn't be in a relationship where you're having to do things like put a picture of a next girl's on your screensaver to hope that it will ignite a conversation. That's very childish. And it's very juvenile. Like, we shouldn't be doing things like that. It's going to just drive up your anxiety. And you shouldn't be in a relationship where you have to go through someone's phone to check up on them, to monitor their internet usage and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is just going to add to a very stressful situation. So I think that, you're broken up. I think that you should stay broken up.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that you should have to compromise on something that clearly means a lot to you for your own personal reasons.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to leave it down. Even if you're like, oh, I'll get over it, whatever. It's too big for you. The way you write that email, it's a big thing 100%. For you, and absolutely fair. You have every right to be like, this is an absolute no-no. And if there's absolute no-no, then it's a no-no. That's it. Like, there's no budging. It's a no-no. You've broken up, stay broken up. It's sad. You'll be okay. And you'll find someone who has all the things that you require.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Heartbreak is tough. Like,
it's
breaking
tough,
up, leaving someone that you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
For what feels like something that, should I, shouldn't I? This is not, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it is to you at the end of the day. But it's awful when someone is perfect in every way, but there's one thing that's kind of like, there's just creating tension. Like that is awful. And I get why you'd be so conflicted. But I think that you're always going to find yourself back in the situation feeling very hurt. And it's better to miss someone than to be in pain with someone that you're with.
Hard agree.
Well, ciao.
If you guys have any responses, any thoughts, any feelings to these dilemmas, please comment and let us know. And yeah, that is it.
That is it.
That is it for this episode of Your Receipts. Hopefully you were entertained. I've been your girl, Tolly T.
Just call me Audrey.